I occasionally stammer and I also have other nervous tics. I suffered from anxiety in the past, and I believe that part of my anxiety is from a fear of being scrutinized and found out as being gay. Please, will you expand on how a fear of being scrutinized can affect a person and how to heal this anxiety? Yes, well, I'd like to answer the second part of your question first. You said one of your fears is being scrutinized is that you'll be found out as gay. Well, there's an easy way around that. Work towards, I hesitate to use the word coming out, but as my master said it to me, coming clean. It's important to be yourself, whether this issue is about being gay or being an artist or being whatever, being a dancer, being anything under the sun. The goal is to be true to yourself, be who you are, and learn to love yourself and accept yourself for who you are. Whether, it's gay, bi, straight, quad, whatever, or whether you're a painter, an artist, a lawyer, that you live true to your beliefs, live true to your convictions, live true to your goals and dreams. That's becoming more and more authentic. Now, in terms of the stammering, the nervous tics, and this fear of being scrutinized, they would have come from, and if you look in your childhood, in your past, like is the case for all people, it's fairly safe, if not certain, to say that one, if not both, of your parents, and since I know who's asking the question in this particular case, I know for certainty, but it's pretty much the case for almost everybody. There is one or both parents or parental figure, might have been a strong teacher, but usually it's right in the household, who were super scrutinizing and super critical of you. And that would have made you so self-conscious and so self-condemning that there's a hesitancy. There's a hesitation to act, a hesitation to choose, a second guessing and compromising of your instincts, your own instincts to move, because you have become so accustomed by being criticized, being scrutinized, being watched and studied like you're in a petri dish, and being picked at and pecked at constantly. You start to second guess and catch yourself. And that's what creates not only the stammering in speech, but other types of nervous tics. So that's where it comes from. And one of the things that helps you cure that is to catch yourself and just keep reinforcing and reminding yourself that you're not that little child now. And you don't have, in most cases, some cases, the critical, pecking parent is still around or still engaging. But as an adult, or even as a teen, an older teen, if not an adult, you don't have that same relationship. You have now the power, the authority, the right, the freedom of expression to be who you want to be, to express yourself the way you want. And it takes, again, a practice because the consciousness has been programmed. It takes diligence and practice and repetition of reminding yourself that I'm free to be who I want and I don't answer to you anymore and I don't necessarily accept your opinions and your judgments of me as truth or as my truth, much less. And by that constant reinforcement, you are repatterning and reprogramming your consciousness to see yourself as you and to love yourself as you. And that's what begins to unravel and unwind that negative programming. And it takes practice. It takes practice. So the longer you keep reinforcing what was in place at the causal level, at the point of origin, you will maintain those. It's a discipline to keep bringing yourself to present tense. Whenever people look at their present life through the lens of their past, they find themselves stuck and not growing. You have to catch yourself and look at your present situation through your present lens, not through your childhood lens. That's for the same reason people find it so difficult to receive loving refinement. And I find so many of my students, disciples, will attack, will rebel when the kindest, gentlest refinement is given to them because all they hear, and it's their choice, but they're victims about that too, they only hear their critical parent. But what they're not being truthful about is that they're choosing to hear their critical parent. Granted, it's an unconscious mechanism at first, but once it's been brought to your attention by your mentor, your psychologist, your guru, whomever, your teacher, once it's been brought to your consciousness and repeated again and again, now it's a choice. It's a conscious choice. You keep going there. Before anyone pointed it out, obviously you can't be faulted for that. You're ignorant. But when it's been shown to you and then you continue to keep going there, you're choosing to A, live as a victim, and to B, stay stuck in your past. But it's a great disservice to yourself because you're not that person. You're not the 8-year-old getting picked on by your tyrannical mother or father. You're now a 30 or 40 or 50-year-old adult who is not beholden to them, does not answer to them, does not in any way, shape, or form kowtow to them, and it's you choosing to continue living in the past. So you have to be the one to catch yourself and step out of it. So again, this question originated about stammering and nervous tics. So I showed you where it came from, that scrutinizing critical parent, and how you can cure those stammers and tics by bringing yourself to the present and realizing that the monster, the boogeyman, is no longer in the closet. You're now the boogeyman, doing it to yourself. So you have to draw that line of distinction. As a child, the critical parent, the browbeating, the abusive parent was the boogeyman in the closet. Now at 20, 30, 40, 50, you're the boogeyman in the closet because the parent is no longer in that role. Now, you could say they are in the role, but if they are still in it, it's because you're keeping them in it, not because they are in it by design. It's you reinforcing and recreating the past and holding them in it when by their side of the fence, by their creation, they're not in any way, shape, or form still in it. They're off living their life somewhere. You don't live with them. You don't answer to them. So that's a discipline. It's another discipline, a muscle of consciousness that you have to develop. All righty.